ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
And now we're just sort of waiting with bated breath to see what's happening, at this point.
The parents, teachers, and students anxiously waiting for Governor Gavin Newsom to make an announcement tomorrow about plans for the upcoming school year. Until now, that decision has been up to each local school district. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo spoke to parents who say they want to have the option to decide for their children.
The details of what the governor is expected to announce haven't been released, and that has parents feeling stressed and anxious about what he will say.
Look at 186 and 187 at the top.
Until now, it's been up to the school districts to decide how they will return to learning in the fall amid a pandemic. But tomorrow, that could change with the governor's announcement on whether or not schools will be allowed to reopen.
And now we're just sort of waiting with bated breath to see what's happening, at this point.
It's unclear what Governor Newsom plans on announcing, but parents have different opinions for what works best for their children. Andrea Gallegos wants her fourth grader allowed back in the classroom. Their district, San Diego Unified, has announced they'll start the year with distance learning.
She's missing her friends, and she's missing her teachers and the, atmosphere of school.
Marie Zavago's teenagers are in the Sweetwater Union High School district. She wants them to continue learning virtually because of their health. The district has announced at least the first 4 weeks of school will be online.
One of my children has asthma, and that's physically, if COVID were to get him, it would be really bad. And also my husband has asthma. I have a autoimmune disease called Graves' disease.
With details of the announcement unknown, both parents agree they'd like to have a choice.
It just puts that, back in the parents' hands to decide what's best for their children.
I hope that that we are given a choice, especially for special ed.
The governor's press conference is scheduled for noon on Friday. Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
And just in, the Escondido Union School District just voted to push back its school year to start August 25th. The Board of Education also approved 2 hybrid learning models when students return to the classroom, but the school district says it won't let students back into the classroom until the end of September. Many types of businesses are supposed to be closed due to the public health orders, but some San Diego business owners are choosing to defy those orders. Today, ABC 10 News spoke with the owner of Del Beauty Box in Del Mar, and Bahar Radman says that she's keeping her business open, even though Governor Gavin Newsom ordered salons to close. It's part of his effort to slow the surging spread of coronavirus. And while some businesses are allowed to serve outside, the state says hair salons cannot. And Radman says that's not fair.
I know by this, I'm risking my license to be suspended. But you know what? I have a family to feed. I am a single mom.
Well, the State Board of Barbering and Cosmetology tells ABC 10 News they're exploring options for allowing salons to move outside.
And a Pacific Beach gym is definitely ignoring the public health orders. The gym on Garnett Avenue near the 5, it was packed this afternoon. People were working out right there in front of that open window. And from the outside, we saw only one person wearing a mask. The parking lot was also full. ABC 10 News is attempting to contact the owner of the gym. The latest community outbreak in the county was reported at a gym.
The California Supreme Court is making life a little easier on aspiring attorneys. Today, the state's highest court decided to permanently lower the passing score for the bar exam from 1440 to 1390. The court is also moving the exam online October 5th and 6th due to the pandemic. Registration for those dates is now extended through July 24th, and the court is allowing 2020 law school graduates to practice law under supervision until they can take and pass the bar exam.
Turning now to the numbers, San Diego County has set a new one-day record for coronavirus deaths. The county reported 17 today. That brings our total now to 465. There are also 409 new cases. That brings that total to 21,800.
First thing I thought was like, well, what can we do? How can we find a creative solution?
Some fitness studios and hotels are getting creative by working together. ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura spoke with businesses hit hard by the pandemic about how they're staying resilient during this difficult situation.
F45 Training San Diego East Village gave us this video showing what their classes were like before the pandemic. Now their fitness studio is empty after public health orders forced indoor areas to close.
First thing I thought was like, well, what can we do? How can we find a creative solution?
Owner George Schimmel says they immediately looked for outdoor space. They didn't have to look far. Nearby Hard Rock Hotel San Diego had this 8,700 square foot rooftop terrace normally used for events and parties, none of which are happening because of the pandemic. So the hotel has allowed F45 to use it without charge.
And we went and measured it out today, and everyone's going to have 8 feet of social distancing on each side. We're going to be doing temperature checks at the door. We're going to be following all the safety protocols necessary.
Raina Kay is the director of communications at the Hard Rock Hotel.
2 industries that have been hurt particularly by this current situation that we're going through are the hospitality and fitness industries. So we feel the pain at the gyms when they were just recently shut down once again.
Other fitness studios and hotels have started working together. Hapa Yoga in Mission Valley says they've started renting outdoor space at nearby Marriott. This is a picture from their class on the Marriott's West Lawn. As for F45, they plan to quickly make use of their new space at the Hard Rock, offering 2 classes on weekdays and 1 on Saturdays and Sundays.
Hopefully their members will come, have some drinks and snacks at our bar afterwards. So it's just a great collaboration, and it's fantastic when 2 businesses can come together.
But I think it's a great collaboration of businesses that have just gotten kicked in the face, trying to find a unique way to weather the storm.
F45 will start classes this weekend. The owner says both Saturday and Sunday sessions are already full. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
And the economic impacts of the pandemic are far outpacing those seen during the Great Recession a decade ago. Today, the state's Employment Development Department announced it has paid out more than $45 billion to unemployed Californians over the past 4 months. In 2010, the worst year of the recession, it paid out half that amount, about $22 billion. But despite claiming to have paid out that much money during the pandemic so far, the EDD has been a target of controversy. ABC 10 News has profiled several San Diegans who say that they have struggled to receive unemployment payments. From receiving the wrong information from the office to getting cut off on their phone lines because they were overwhelmed. You can find all those stories on 10news.com.
5 days after the ship exploded into flames, all fires are out aboard the USS Bonhomme Richard. Crews struggled to make progress due to its size and flammable cargo on board. Now the ship is leaning to one side because of the damage. ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer De La Cruz explains what may have kept those flames burning.
It was a day of victory for the sailors and firefighters who worked tirelessly to put out those flames. But even with the fire out, they still have a lot of work to do. Navy officials reporting Thursday afternoon that all known fires on board the USS Bonhomme Richard are finally out.
I've witnessed your sons and daughters rushing to the flames, putting the flames out, and securing their ship.
It's been a tumultuous battle to get flames under control since the fire broke out Sunday morning. An explosion sending thick black smoke billowing into the air, engulfing the San Diego Bay and neighboring National City with a smell that could be sensed miles away. Sailors from commands all over San Diego worked tirelessly alongside federal firefighters to put out the flames with support from the air and sea. Helicopters conducted more than 1,500 water drops while tugboats fought flames from the waterline, and the fight isn't over yet.
The flames are out, but the heat is still there. So we're going space by space as I speak to every compartment, checking for hot spots.
Navy officials say the complex nature of the ship and its cargo, including miles of electrical wires and equipment, made navigating the flames incredibly difficult and maybe why it kept burning so long. Wednesday night, the ship naturally settled, rocking it slightly to one side.
Water can go from either side of the ship, from port or starboard, and it has free reign, if you will, along the deck. And that brings obviously challenges to how the ship tends.
40 sailors and 23 civilians were treated for minor injuries. The Navy says the next steps are now to investigate what caused the fire to begin with. Navy officials say the ship can be saved. It's now just a matter of whether it's worth it to do so. Jennifer Dela Cruz, 10 News.
Oakland will pay nearly $33 million to settle a lawsuit over one of the deadliest nightclub fires in U.S. history. The Ghost Ship fire broke out during a music party in December of 2016, killing 36 people. The warehouse was illegally turned into a residence for artists and event space. $9 million of the settlement will go to Sam Maxwell, a survivor who has severe lifelong injuries. The rest goes to the families of 32 victims who died. Ghost Ship master tenant Derek Almina is awaiting a retrial for 36 counts of manslaughter. A mistrial was declared last year because of a hung jury, and his case is set for October.
Power lines owned by Pacific Gas and Electric caused a massive Kincade fire that swept through wine country in Northern California last fall. Investigators with CAL FIRE determined that the fire last October was started by lines in northeast Sonoma County. That Kincade fire burned nearly 80,000 acres, destroying more than 370 homes and injuring 4 people. The Sonoma County District Attorney will now decide whether to seek criminal charges. It is the latest setback for PG&E, which just emerged from bankruptcy after pleading guilty in the deaths of 84 people in 2018's Camp Fire.